Hey, Mike Dancer Brookside. With everything going on in the world today, one of the biggest things that people are talking about now is video conferencing. People that had never used it or talked about it before are now because they want to keep everything together and keep people communicating. And so you can do that very easily with video conferencing as a service, which is cloud-based. So it's like a lot of things that you may be using from Spotify and Pandora to Netflix. It's you got that web access, you got access to the app. The app does video conferencing. It does it very, very well. It gives teams the ability to choose how they want to communicate. And now they can do it on any device, anywhere. One of the products that we really are high on right now is Zoom. Zoom is we're a Zoom partner, so we can help set up and design a solution for you working with Zoom that would enable you to, with the right hardware, to be able to not only fit your rooms, your people, and make everybody just one click access to doing video. Zoom is the best company in this space right now today, and they're number one by a long shot. And they're really just one of those companies everybody's kind of chasing more or less in this space. And so they're pretty far ahead of it. And so at the end of the day, it's very reliable, and that's why they're number one, and very cost effective. It's very secure. All the security aspects of it are all covered here with all these different certifications, as you can see. They have multiple data centers all over the world. It's a very global company that's got a very sophisticated and very, very reliable product and secure. It's very easy to use. You put it on your app, you hit a couple of buttons, and you one click and you're in to do video conferencing, web conferencing, screen sharing. All that stuff is just point and click and very easy to use on any device. And it integrates with Siri. Audio conferencing, same thing. Just turn the video off. But audio conferencing, once again, accomplishes it's all, it's all integrated into your calendaring and all that stuff. Chat, it also has chat on any device, anywhere. You can web chat right through the middle. Everything is in this solution. And then you can do webinars, which is kind of great now, so that when you want to get a bunch of people together to do a presentation, a video webinar, you can do up to 10,000 people, up to 100 speakers for $50 a month. I mean, it's not a bad solution there. And it integrates with a lot of different key, applications in this space. Then Zoom rooms. Oh, that's kind of slick too. So what happens there is they set up a room. And once again, this is software that's on an app. It's in the cloud. So there's not a bunch of hardware going to go in your conference room or a bunch of wires and things of that nature. How you get there is different for each person. As you can see, these are clean installations as you can get there. These are using a sound bar. The sound bar technology has gotten a lot better to where you don't have to have microphones and phones in the middle of the table anymore. Life Size, Polycom, Crestron. There's some real high quality stuff out there it's 100% integrated with Zooms. So Zoom is software based, a conference room solution. You do everything from training to huddle rooms to board and conference rooms and things where you've got the ability to have the same product with the same one-click access everywhere. There's a scheduling display that's either on the wall or can be in the software in the app. There, you got the ability to do digital signage, which is kind of key for some places. And then, basically they address the three things that are part of the end user frustration in dealing with video conferencing, which is content sharing, booking a meeting, and starting the meeting. Just one click for everything makes it super easy. You hit one button, boom, you're in. That's pretty much it. There, boom, you're in. That's pretty slick. Scheduling, boom, walk up, hit a button, it's available or it's not available, and you're in, right? And then, in the conference room, there's connectors, for being able to connect to some of your legacy stuff that you may have in other offices, or well, you may have a Life Size in Seattle, you may have like a Tandberg in Chicago, and Polycom in LA. Well, they can all talk to Zoom. So, that's what this connector is. It's about $40 a month for each connector. It also allows you to connect to the hardware, not just the software, but the hardware brings it all together into an easy to use solution for your end users. Once again, that's the key ingredient there. Here's what it looks like. It integrates into Outlook and Gmail so that you automatically go in and, there's the conference connector, so you run in native Zoom, which is one way to do it where everything's Zoom, or you run in, with a conference connector. And either way, the end users don't know the difference. Everybody's using the same app, same user experience across the board. And once again, one click to schedule or start a high quality video call. Zoom Phone is a new enhancement to the solution that allows you to be able to use it as a phone system, more or less. So you've got the ability to make phone calls, it's all integrated. So it's not like two apps. It's not like some of these guys in the cloud space where they've got two or three things glued together and you're supposed to not realize that. This is all Zoom. And so it's got the ability to move around between a video conference and a call very easily by, once again, one click. And it works on any device as software, just as an app, or works on hardware phones too. So if you've got SIP phones already, you know, for most part, most of them are going to work. It's just SIP because SIP is SIP and it's a standard. So if you've got Polycom, J-Link, Grandstream, Cisco, whatever, it will work with this solution. And you know, for the most part, the design is pretty similar to most cloud-based solutions. You know, you've got a, you know, it's in the cloud, it's got a session border controller, and it just, you know, it's secure, and you know, it works with, you know, any of the endpoints. So you can also bring your own carrier if you like. That's also fairly unique. So when you bring your own carrier, you've got your own plan already in place, and you kind of mix and match, and they'll kind of custom design a solution around your needs, which is pretty slick. Web developers are constantly adding to the solution. So if there's, you know, things that you've got that you want to do that it's not doing or integrate with, it's pretty easy to do that. There's also an app marketplace, app store, whatever you call it, where people can go in and they've already got one-click access to things like, you know, the obvious ones, Salesforce, and, you know, Zoom, Slack, and, you know, Teams and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of that, Slack, Teams. Oh, there they are. So it does integrate one click into that. It's pretty simple. You know, you know, it goes, I mean, you hit one button and you're in. It's so easy that I did it, you know, so I've got both Slack and Teams. I got everything on my computer and I got them all integrated, and it was real easy. You know, you point, click, boom, there you go. And then when I make a call or receive a call out of any of those applications, it's super easy. Now, Paulista is one of their partners, and they've got some pretty slick, you know, the things that they can provide as far as for hardware in the room. This little Studio X, I mean, those things are going to sell like crazy. It's about, you know, they've got, you know, either, you know, one for about 6 people, one for about 12 people. It's perfect for the huddle group. Then you got the 7,500 for the big rooms, you know. And then of course they've got these little trio 8,500s and 8,800s. These basically do, they're the new star phone. Goes in the middle of the table, and you got the ability to do a lot of things with that from a standpoint of adding certain cameras and microphones and things of that nature. But a lot of people like the Studio X because it's boom, there it is. That's everything in one. You put that on top of the TV, connect that little iPad looking thing, and you are good to go. So as you see, they're the specs on the two of them. You know, they range, one's 2,000, I think one's 3,500. So they're not expensive for everything you need. And you just plug it in. It's got power and HDMI and an Ethernet cord, and you're done. And a little bracket that holds it up there. This little TC8 is a little iPad thing that you use to manage everything, and it operates in 2 modes. One that's all Zoom, and one that may have Zoom and a few others, you know, video conference, like we talked about before with the connector. They also make some native apps to make things work even better, you know, so there's constant integration going on in the space as they make things faster, quicker, and better. So to summarize, you bring it all back to one solution that does, does your phone, does your video, it does meetings, and does chat, you know, and it's very, very simple to use, integrates very easily. They've done a really good job with this product, making it easy to use. Pricing, there we go. So it's free if you can keep your conferences under 40 minutes. If you're like me and 40 minutes is about getting you warmed up, then you're in trouble. So, you know, then you got Pro, which is only $15, you know, and the most expensive package is $19.95 or call it $20, right? And that would be either for business or enterprise. It just allows you to have more people and more hosts and things of that nature, as you can see from the document. Then you've got Zoom phones. It roughly starts at around $10, plus there's some usage. And then, you know, Zoom Rooms, Zoom Webinar, and the connector. There they are, all right in one place. And I forgot, on the webinar, you can actually tie into Facebook Live and YouTube, which some people like. So what we do is, if you're interested, we would register you as in Zoom, and then we'd be able to help you with all kinds of things, and they would actually take care of us for doing it and bring it in, and we'd help you figure out what you need from the standpoint from the carrier side, if that needs to be addressed, as well as for hardware for the room. But it turns out really well, you know, and it's very easy to use. I'm using it all the time now to communicate simply.